Well, the boys around here don't listen to the Beatles run. Old Bo Cephas threw a jukebox needle at the honky-tonk where they boot stomp all night. What? That's right. Yeah, and what they call work a digging in the dirt. Gotta get it in the ground before the rain come down to get paid, to get your girl and your four-wheel drive. Yeah, the boys around here drinking that ice-cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys around here sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot her back, shoot her back, shoot her back a spit. Oh, heck. Well, the boys around here, they're keeping it country. Ain't a damn one know how to do the Dougie. No, I'm not in Kentucky, but these girls around here, yep, they still love me. Yeah, the girls around here, they all deserve a whistle. Shaking that sugar sweet as Dixie Crystal. They like that yawling southern drawl and just can't help it 'cause they just keep falling for the boys around here. Drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys around here sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot her back and shoot her back and shoot her back a bit.
Let's ride through the countryside. Let's ride down to the riverside.
Hey now, girl, hop inside. Me and you gonna take a little ride to the river. Let's ride. That's right. Lay a blanket on the ground. Kissing in the crickets is the only sound. We out of town. Have you ever got down with a do you wanna get down with a girl, you gotta get down with the boys round here, drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys round here, sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot her back and shoot her back and shoot her back. I'm one of them boys round here, drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys round here, sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot her back and shoot her back and shoot her back a spit.
How. Welcome to the WINGIT call. November 22nd, 2016. And Gobble Gobble Day is just around the corner. Please take a knee. I speak from the heart. I am not a professional minister, so my ramblings are just that, my ramblings. Dear Lord, you hear our prayers. You give us guidance. We don't always heed your guidance. But thank you for your protection, your discipline, your love, your grace, your patience, and a few that I've missed. Please give us your wisdom and guidance because we are your children, as this blessing is brought down on your time. But Father, you say that you only put on our shoulders no more than what we can stand. I'm tired and I'm weary. Give us a break. Amen. for the disclaimer. We're not attorneys, CPAs, financial advisors, and none of this on the call is considered to be any form of legal advice. Seek your own professional guidance, and for the rest of the disclaimer, please go to the wingitcall.com. On the home page, there is a disclaimer tab. Click on that, and you'll have the rest of the disclaimer. Art Meister, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm always doing okay. I'm always tired and sleepy, never get enough sleep. Say hi to you and the rest of the crew out there, the rest of the currency holders and currency holder land, wherever they might be. It's always a great day here in Tennessee. Going to get a little bit of rain. We haven't had much rain in the last 2 or 3 months. I tell you what, we need rain very badly. It's going to be a little bit at least, and it'll be over by Thanksgiving Day, and Thanksgiving Day is going to be the day. I'm predicting that we'll get our 800 numbers officially on after midnight on Thanksgiving Day, because that's my birthday, and that's going to be the best birthday present I've ever had. How about that? Is that a good prediction?
Yes, absolutely. And let's all wish Art a happy birthday early, and that it all comes down on his birthday.
Well, there's, every day we're supposed to get it, obviously, and everybody's wondering why we don't have the numbers, and I know a lot of people don't like Yosef, but there have been some pretty good articles put out about him the last couple of days, and his report today is mostly stating that things are in motion, but why'd they stop and start it? Why'd they stop and start it? And he's kind of really saying in the last, and y'all need to go to Dinar Chronicles to read everybody's report. They got some good reports on there, not just him, but other people, and he's just mostly saying today that he feels after banks all close and through the holiday here, sometime we'll probably get the numbers. He's not saying before Thanksgiving, although you'd think they'd want to do it where people have a lot of money to spend, whoever goes out and fights the mad mess on a Black Friday. But it don't matter. It's the Christmas season, and they'll spend the money no matter when, whether it's by Thursday or whether it's after Thursday. So I do think it's imminent. Ray Ren's heard some good stuff today. He said Iraq either said they're international, or they're I don't know. They talked to some people over there that are using their cards to buy lower denoms, I think is what he said. Don't hold me to that, but I think this morning that's what he said, which would indicate the lower denoms are out, and he thought they weren't. Of course, Bruce said they were out a couple of weeks ago, I believe, and he didn't think they were. And so even Frank is on board with, and as for Frank 26 to say things like it's, might have them by the 25th. If not, he feels December 7th, I think they put out this morning that he said. So I think everybody thinks right now it's just pretty much here. It's just a matter of, getting, however they're going to do it, by email, or how are they going to spread those numbers? I don't know to whom or wherever. We just need them so we have a place to go and negotiate. And, of course, they're saying more and more that you do have Zim rates now with no NDAs even, like $1 or something like that, or even a little higher rate where it's a modified NDA where there's no clawbacks in it. And so I guess we'll have to wait till we get there to see exactly what they present to us based upon if we're going to do a humanitarian project and need a whole ton of money, or if we don't want to be involved in that and take a lower amount. We don't know whether they'll take zeros off to pay the lower amounts or not. That's not been clarified. And so a lot of things we don't know, but we just need the doggone numbers to get there to find out. That's all. See what we got to negotiate with. So, but I think there'll be something for everybody the way it sounds, depending upon what you want to do. So I'm positive about it, and I think everybody else is getting pretty positive now. So let's hope that's the case, and I wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving, and just eat a whole bunch of turkey and stuffing and whatever you want to do. It is the day, and give thanks for everything that you've got to be thankful for, and I'd say give thanks for the opportunity that we've got here. A lot of people have given up. A lot of people don't believe in it anymore. I've got family members that say, yeah. Show us a bank receipt, Dad, someday when it happens, and we'll believe it. And they've all got currency, and they've all just kind of don't talk to us about it no more. And a lot of you have family members that are the same way. And So that's okay. When it happens, just treat them nice, and say, okay, here's my bank receipt, and whatever you got to do. But be thankful that we have this opportunity. That's all. That's a great thing to be thankful for. So Jerry, I'll turn it back over to you, and that's all I got today.
Thanks, Art.
All righty.
Hey, Wingman, what's going on?
I must tell you, there is nothing so vicious and so formidable as a woman doing her Thanksgiving Day shopping on a Tuesday afternoon.
That, and I got to say, I've got something that will rival that. That's a soccer mom on a mission in a minivan.
There you go.
Do not step in the way. You'll be a greasy spot in the road.
I got hit by a shopping cart on purpose.
Santa got run over by a soccer mom.
Yep. Get the heck out of my way, buddy. I'm on a mission. And then I get out into the parking lot, and there's some lady in an SUV, because the parking lot's crazy. Everybody's here. And she's trying to get out of her parking space, and she saw me. I'm like 4 feet away from her car, and she just pulled out right in front of me and just stuck her hand up like, sorry, you got to wait. I don't care if you are a pedestrian. I got to get out of here. I mean, it was, thank God nobody was getting hurt, but that made it funny. But man, I'll tell you, that was a dangerous experience I just had just now. So,
well, that's a memorable experience, and a footnote: don't do that again.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I was at the dog park. That was not a pretty sight at the dog park. It even is affecting the dog park.
Huh.
So, okay, star 2 to raise your hand. I'm going to set the tone here in a little bit, or right now. But I want to address what Art was talking about earlier, about the rates are out there. I want to say this. We don't know if those are going to be the true rates because they've been up and down. Heck, now they're at, according to Joseph, they're at 57,000 with no zeros lopped off. Not going to go down that road. Oh, and I want to say, Dizzy, glad to see you're back in the mix again. Welcome back. You have my full support. I hope that the time off helped you. And all I got to say is don't give up on the umbrella drinks. I call those sedatives, and they're wonderful at times, especially when you really need to relax. So kudos to you. Now back to the rates. Art said, let me make this statement first. I got so much running in my brain today. Statement first. Pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. So if you hold a lot of Zim and they give you $1, do the math. Now, it comes out of the DA and a bank contract, and they're not going to meter it out like you were having the sovereign rates. We'll give you X amount, and then we'll meter it out over so much over 20, 50, 100 years. Go back to the very first statement I said about the pigs. When is enough enough? I could be buying more. I've reached a point to where enough is enough. If you're a billionaire, a multi-billionaire, possibly even a trillionaire, when is enough enough? And if you bought so much when it was just your budget was 25 cents, anything over that, Christmas, every day for the rest of your natural born life till you're pushing daisies. If I walk in and they say, Jerry, we're going to give you $1, I'm going to say, show me the money, not signing an NDA, I'll have full control over the portion that I have. And like Tony used to say, I can make money with my money. I can make back, maybe it'll take me a year or two, but you're in control. That's why you're going to have people working for you to help you manage it, invest it, grow it, be good counsel, do your humanitarian projects out of what you have. I can live with that. Let's just say you got $1 billion. That's more than you could ever spend by spending $1 million a day for the rest of your life. So you went out and you bought all your luxury items and it cost you $100 million. You're still getting interest, a lot of interest, on what's left in the bank. And with people with good counsel, your investing or whatever you do is making the principal grow. I hope I'm making sense and I'm not rambling too much. So, you know what? We'll just hit it. We're going to hit it right off the bat. And *2 to raise your hand, because it won't take long to go through one caller. Houston, Texas, 281. Come on down.
Well, hi, Jerry. How you doing? All the news today sounds extremely good, but, you know, I don't know. I think I got this Don Quixote complex. I still think we're chasing windmills and going after the impossible dream. I still believe in it, but the problem is it just seems like the cabal and PTB, the PTB, just won't make it happen. They just can't see. They can't stand to see these ordinary folks make all this money. So I don't know what to say. I mean, everything looks good. Everything looked very good today. But at the end of the day, you know, I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, hopefully it's going to happen sometime, but I don't think it's going to happen by Thanksgiving. You remember many times in the past, a couple of years ago, Tony says I'm during the Christmas holidays, and people cancel trips. You know. So the thing is, it sounds good, but it doesn't happen. And I think that the people that are holding it up are just too powerful. They're just doing what has to be done, and this is going to go on for another 5 years.
I'm glad that you brought that up. Hold on, let me answer your question, and thank you for calling in. Okay.
Okay.
So as I listened to Dizzy last night, normally I don't, but this was his first night back after taking some much needed recuperation. We all need that, and I'm so thankful that I cut down to 2 calls a week. It's allowed me to rest up. We all need that, especially the people that are bringing you, to the best of our ability, information that we consider credible. So this is, like he said, don't watch the markets. They're so manipulated. Glad to see that he brought that up. This is past political. This is, as I've said before, good against evil, and they not wanting to give up any form of control, fighting down to the last whatever they can do, because they feel, you know, we've been in charge for 400 or 500 years, and by God, or by Satan, we're not giving it up now. And Satan is saying, no, you don't have to. You're going to win. So there's the battle. Hope that answers your question, Houston. So, Wingman, we have a swirl to the left. What do you think about that?
Good.
It's all good. It's all good. Well, to my brothers from a different mother, good day from below the equator. First, I want to say happy Thanksgiving to you and your families. And there's no Thanksgiving down here in the sense of a holiday. The turkeys are the size of a big chicken and probably 4 times the price. So Yeah, I mean, it was I asked the guy in one of the local supermarkets. I said, "Where are your turkeys?" And he said, "They're right there in front of you." And I looked, and I mean, literally, I held up, and it was like a chicken. And I thought, now wait a minute, this. I realized it hasn't had any growth hormone, but I mean, this thing, and it was $70. And I thought, what in the world is going on here? But with a little good fortune, I'd met a farmer who had turkeys on his property that he figured were pests, and so was able to acquire a couple of turkeys. So things work out. I guess I want to say happy Thanksgiving as well to everybody, like Art said, out in Denarland, and to my friends in Sarasota and St. Pete, and my sister in Montesano and Aberdeen. And I wanted to pass on I got my master's trust squared away, and I just wanted for people who were kind of in a quandary. Richard was very good about getting back to me quickly, and the paperwork's being handled and so forth. And it was not a hassle at all. So that's just my personal experience with the Master's Trust, and I'm certainly pleased with how things have sorted out with it. So just thought I'd pass that along. As far as I've been doing some watching, I guess I kind of a little bit of Ico's rubbed off on me on the markets, and watch what's happened with the currencies in the yen in Japan and the euro and so forth, and things are up and down quite a bit. And so, if we're doing the manipulating, I'm suspicious that is probably a portion of the problem, and it sure seems to be on a continual basis. There's no question about that. Ico, your thoughts?
Well, hold on here. Wingman, I think we have a special guest here. Can I bring this special guest in?
It's fine with me. I just say real quick that actually this week it's not being manipulated. It's just full bore greed and speculation on what Trump's going to do. But the rest of the weeks, yeah, it's been manipulated. So okay, special guest.
All right, I'm gonna mute out our down under feller. Mr. Tilton, I see you sneaking in down there. Come on down. Puerto Rico. Philip? Hello, Philip. Maybe he's having trouble unmuting his phone. Puerto Rico, 787. Hello? Well, okay. You want to talk, raise your hand. Detroit, 313.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I'm glad. Are you actually in Detroit?
About 4 miles north of Detroit.
So I have a question for you. You drive into Detroit on a regular basis?
Quite often, almost every day.
So there's a rumor out there that some of the mosque billboards are very disparaging to Americans, to the point to where Allah will reign supreme, and if you don't believe, we will kill you. I mean, I'm getting some reports about things like that. Have you seen anything like that?
No, I have not.
Do you happen to go into the no-go areas? Because that's where they're at.
Okay, maybe I'll have to pay a little bit more attention, because I have not seen that.
All right, star 2 to raise your hand if you want to ask a question. Go ahead, Detroit.
Okay, now I did want to say happy birthday to Art, and I hope this thing comes about on his birthday, because I'm tired of waiting. And happy Thanksgiving to the rest of you all. and I'll just step to the side for some more information. Oh, wait a minute. I did want to ask the trust you just mentioned, the Master's Trust. Now, is that a non-statutory complex trust?
It's neither statutory or non-statutory. It's recognized by the Hague and operates underneath IRS guidelines. And all that information is on their website that you can find.
Could you give me briefly how that works, or?
Well, if you go to the masterstrust.com, there's all those tabs on the left. If you click on the tabs, there is so much information there. It would take up the whole call to explain it. Yes, that's my best advice to you.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot for the information. I'll be on the side.
You're welcome.
Have a blessing.
Okay. I don't know if I can pronounce this or not. Wappingers Falls, 845.
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Go ahead.
You hear me, I guess, right?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Those signs that you were talking about, they're in Dearborn, Michigan, which is most of the population in Dearborn are Muslims. And I just heard that all their councilmen are Muslims. So the sign that you're talking about, that Allah is great and we're going to kill all you Americans, that's where they are.
Ah, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Have a great day and have a great Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Short call. We're fixing to be out of here. Okay, so I'm going to approach it like this. I want to make an observation. If you think it's political, my apologies, but here goes. When Obama first got voted in, everybody was happy. There was no riots, no revolts, no protests, no panicking. Obama gets voted in again. Same scenario. Everything's hunky-dory. Trump gets voted in. There's protests. There's riots. There's marches. And this is where I know it's a free country. And that's, the Second or First Amendment free speech. But when the teachers in the schools are influencing political views to the point of they're having kids walk out of class and walking down the street protesting because we've turned the corner with the president-elect, what happened about their philosophy? We all are supposed to get along and work together. I was just reading an article earlier in Hollywood. It's they were all for Hillary Clinton, and if you talked about Trump or you were for Trump, they turned to complete bullies. Now this is, I'm trying to behave myself here. I can get a little radical, and I have to be responsible here. But I'm just pointing out when things are going the blue way, and I agree with Iko. Anymore, blue and red is pretty much the same thing, and there's the term, it's called rhino, Republicans in name only, because some of the stuff that they voted for and done, I want to hang them from the highest tree. I'm like, what payoffs, lobbyists? I mean, it's just unreal. But when the blue has it going their way, everything's good. Now that it's the Reds in charge, you're acting crazy, absolutely crazy. And you can go back and look at this. A fellow Texan that's a national news person on CBS, I am ashamed to say she does not represent Texas. During the Super Tuesday, bless her heart, wearing a blue dress, everything's going good, and then later on in the night when things are starting to go downhill, that wonderful woman during break goes back in there and changes into a purple dress. Shit. I'll provoke her license and send her back into New York City. Enough of a rant. Kansas City, home of the second best barbecue. Come on down.
Hey, thank you, Jerry, for taking my call. Hey, my wife and I were not able to hear the first part of the call. We were having trouble with the old the computer and the phone. So could you give me a little recap on that? And part two, I agree with you 100% on the latter part of what you just said.
First part, we're going to hell in a handbasket. I got the rudder, and I'm steering us that direction as fast as you can paddle.
Good. I think that's what needs to take place for this thing to come to take place.
There's really, Art brought in a little bit, but everything you've been reading on the internet, I can sum it up like this. It's not political. It's not even, yes, greed is driving it. And the stock market is, don't even watch. This is a battle between good and evil. This sums up everything. They've been in the evil has had the upper hand for 400 or 500 years, and we're taking their last $20 in their pocket, and they're kicking and screaming, "We're not going away." And I'm sure they're not, but that's my viewpoint.
Amen to that. I have an idea, though, that if we produced about 10 million little bitty trophies and sent them all to these guys that are crying and all these millennials, I think it would help. Just a little light humor.
Are you trying to say that everybody's a winner no matter what happens?
Maybe a wiener, but I don't know about a winner.
Oh, too deep. Let's not go there. All right, thank you, sir. Huntersville, North Carolina. Come on down.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I just wanted to say, first of all, thank you so much for the call. I appreciate it. Been involved with the reset for at least 5 years. The reason why I was calling is actually when you just finished talking just now, my heart just went to my stomach because I understand what you're saying about people not riding when President Obama was elected. They didn't. Neither did they when Bush was elected. But when people can't see the difference and the hate that's been put out there, that's why. That's the only reason why. It's not the same. Any Democrat could accept losing, which I'm a Democrat, and so we lost when Bush won. Nobody did all of this. It wasn't that same climate. And being a Christian, also, I feel like, people should be able to to me it's just very obvious of the hate, and I could go on, but I've seen so many things. I'm in North Carolina, and I've seen so many things that just broke my heart. Originally from New York, so I've seen it there, I've seen it here, and it's just a very sad, hateful time right now, and it's not really getting any better. That's what everything's about. So it's not just that folks can't accept the loss. Of course we could accept the loss, but we couldn't accept what the hate was, the hate. And it's continuing. Believe me, it's continuing. And it's really sad to see the country going the way it's now. And I just wish that someone would come up and say, okay, really, this really just needs to stop, because it's dangerous the way it is right now in this country. And that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, ma'am. Well, you'll have to text me when you want to come back in, Wingman, because I've got you muted for a little bit. Port St. Lucie, 772. Come on down.
Hello?
Yes?
Oh, I just wanted to comment about what the people rioting, that it's very obvious that it's being people paid for, like George Soros and other people. If you watch the videos of the riots, they show it there. They just want to cause like chaos in the country. But I don't even think the real Democrats are doing that, because that's just too low. That was my comment. And I have a question. If my husband bought his currency on his side and I bought my currency on my side, and we want to have separate bank accounts, because I mean that's what we do. Is it possible to go on the same appointment, or do we have to make two separate appointments?
I'm pretty sure you can go on the same appointment.
Okay. I appreciate your answer.
Don't take that as gospel. I don't know, but I think they'll probably make allowances. Okay.
Yeah, because the one that is more informed or always listening to the calls is me. He's just going like, by ear what I tell him.
Uh-huh.
And so he will be more confident if I go also. But I mean, of course, I want to go to my appointment like first, in that case. But,
all right. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye. God bless you.
I'll have to preface this with a little joke here. Breaking news: the Trump administration has offered Hillary an ambassadorship to Benghazi and a participation trophy. LOL. You want me to read that again? Okay. Breaking news: the Trump administration has offered Hillary an ambassadorship to Benghazi and a participation trophy. LOL. That was just texted to me. I couldn't resist that. All right, here we go. Wingman, are you back?
I am back. Can you hear me?
Yes. You might want to mute.
I have to. Let me get to a quiet corner here. I have to respond to your little tirade there. The big difference is that Obama did not get elected on a platform of hate and bigotry, isolationism, homophobia, and xenophobia, and I could probably list off a few more. Give me a minute to talk about it. That's what Trump got elected on. Okay, the underlying message. By the way, it's only 24% of the electorate voted for Trump. Okay, the underlying message is that all of the negativity in this country, things he wants to roll back, things that are important to us guys, whether you realize it or not. For example, the Paris Accord, okay, wants to roll that back. He wants to roll back all the social progress we've made in the past, 30 years, 40 years? This is what people are reacting to, okay? And look at who he's populating his White House with. I mean, give me a break. And again, all of us who are trying to break up the big banks, who are trying to get banking under control because banking out of control is what got us here now. He's putting all those people back in. What he's not doing, and which is the biggest factor here, is he's not giving anybody a baseline to anticipate how things are going to go. The man is completely ungrounded. And I know that for a fact because I used to work with him in New York. I worked on 3 of his buildings. I saw him in action. I saw the people he hired in action. That's what the riots are. That's what the protests are. You know, that's what. And by the way, these frickin' billboards saying "kill all Americans." Are you kidding me? Show me a goddamn picture. Show me a frickin' picture.
Okay, so
and not from some internet site, but CBS News or CNN or ABC.
Hold on.
Show me a picture.
Can somebody go to Dearborn and email me a picture to my email address? Please.
Yeah, and time stamp it and get it witnessed.
Well, now, you know what? Just hold up, when you take the picture, hold up today's paper from wherever you're at.
There you go. There you go.
Please. And
but Jerry, this is the thing that people are upset about. It's not the actual information out there. It's the lack of information. It's the misinformation. It's a field day for all the nut jobs on the internet to say whatever the hell they want to say. So that's my take on all of it.
We're going to take North Bend. Come on down. 425.
Oh, my. What a platform for saying some pretty crazy and wild things today. I remember when Obama was elected, a short time after that, he got some sort of a Nobel Peace Prize for God only knows what. I think that we as citizens of the United States are looking forward to a man who will bring better schools to us. He will repeal, I hope to God he does, the Dodd-Frank Act. And life is a journey, and as he goes through these things and discovers that certain things, as Trump goes through, this administration goes through certain things, I believe with all my heart that he will discover things he can't do and things that perhaps that he wanted to do that simply won't work, and will make an effort to change them. But I believe that if we will stand up and support this administration, not just the man, the administration, that we're all going to be a whole lot better off. And one of the things that I really look forward to, it surprised me the other day when one of the newscasters on Fox just blurted out, he said, you know what, we're going to be able to say Merry Christmas again. And I thought that that was a whole mouthful. So I could go on, but I won't. So thank you for hearing me out.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Now, Aiko, don't you think that the Donald could have possibly changed a little bit?
No, I don't. He's 70 years old. He's a narcissist. He's in it for Donald, period. His entire life, he's been in it for Donald. And he's just surprised to see one, as a lot of others are, because I can tell you right now, he didn't think he was going to win. What he thought he was going to do was build up his brand, at the very least. And now he's stuck being president. And I hope, well, I didn't hope, I know that orange hair is going to turn gray within a year. Unless he keeps dying it. But it's just, you got, so what's he doing? He's nominating a climate denier for the head of the EPA, right? He's nominating a known bigot as Secretary of the Interior. Self-pronounced. You know, this is not okay, guys. This isn't some liberal BS I'm pushing here. This is practical practical, pragmatic government going down the tubes. We totally have to change. No doubt about it. I totally agree. I did not want Hillary Clinton in that White House. It would have taken 8 years to get her out again. And everything that they stand for, which we don't stand for. But because Trump played the race card in this election, and because 23% of the electorate really aren't happy with the fact that we're such a diversified culture. They're really not. They want to hole up in their little towns and have everything be some imaginary, glorified white person's utopia. It ain't going to happen, guys. It ain't going to happen. It's too late for that. It's just too late. You can't kick half the country out of the country. You know? Look through your history. If it wasn't the Mexicans, it was the Irish. If it wasn't the Irish, it was the Italians. You know? There was a time when the national language of this country was going to be German.
I got kicked off my own.
Focus on. You got kicked off your own call. Sorry. Oh, gee, and there was my opportunity. Boy. But listen, obviously I got a lot of energy behind this. Okay, because I know the man. I know what he's capable of. I know how he operates. And you have not seen it yet. He's trying to get things pushed through. He's feeling his way out. Who's his ally and who isn't his ally?
Well,
what's going to surprise us is how many people in Congress are not his allies. That's going to be a big surprise.
He's already made it's in the paper already, if we can believe it, that he's going to give Hillary a pass, and I'm not happy about that. So let us take a caller here. Southfield 248, come on down.
Yes, I'm a black man, and I'm for Trump. The reason being I'm Christian, and under the past administration, Christians have been put on the list of Department of Homeland Security as terrorists. You cannot pray in the name of Jesus anymore in the military, which means that you can get killed in a war, and they can take you to the military cemetery, and you can't even invoke the presence of your own God in that situation. Also, there have been people put out of the military simply because they put Bible verses around their tents, around their guns, or on their guns, around their desk. Also, the latest email I sent out, they are not allowing the military band to play any Christmas music. And I could go on, and the people who have lost their businesses simply because they wouldn't bake a cake for a same-sex couple or either print some information on an invitation regarding, and, you know, there are many other things. So with that, I don't understand why these people are more afraid of Trump than they are God Almighty. These are peculiar Christians to me.
Thank you, sir.
I'm telling you. And Mr. Trump has already started what I've seen him say, what he's going to do. He and Mr. Sessions out in California, they have hired a lot of people from India, and under this H-1B scheme, where they come in from India, 50 or 60,000 people, and they pay, you know, low salaries in these high-tech jobs, and, you know, with Google. So anyway, Mr. Sessions said that he's already thinking about revoking those green cards and give Americans those jobs, and then taking these people, sending them back to India so that they can help build India where they should be. Americans should have those jobs. They had created this scheme so that the people can come in here and give them $10 or $15 an hour, you know, so that they can get the jobs. And here we got college graduates walking around with no jobs. You know, I appreciate him. because in the final analysis, in the sight of God, we're not color. It's all about heart and your spirit, and color has nothing to do with it, because in the final analysis, that's going right back to the flesh, right back to the earth, and what has to report for judgment is the spirit. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Hold on just a second here. I'll have to look at that later. Oh, here we are. Now, I'm a little confused. Iko, if you'll mute yourself for just a second. Philip, is that you?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
I got a question. You know what? You have my phone number. I want you to call me after the call, please.
Yes, sir.
Can you do that? Will you do that?
I will do that.
Okay. So, what do you have for us today?
Well, the first thing that we have is over the last couple of days, we've seen very pointed actions taken by governments, meaning that the United States is going after cryptocurrency holders, company holders, okay? So like Coinbase, they have filed for all records for the last 3 years of Americans who own cryptocurrencies. And at this point, the cryptocurrency companies are using their legal teams to expedite whether or not they're going to give this information to the government, because right now there's a question of whether or not the government that's asking for it is the in facto corporation government, or if this is the new republic government. So there's one pointed thing that's going on. And in the meantime, to ask whether or not is the St. Germain Trust really open, it's been questioned today. How is Duterte of the Philippines spending all this money on the infrastructure unless he had a bunch of hidden money? Well, he had a bunch of hidden money. It was called the Marcos Fund. But all that money was supposed to have gone to the collective in the global collateral accounts. So that's another thing that is pointed right now to what's really going on. In the meantime, the Treasury is putting its foot out and saying, listen, Federal Reserve, we don't need you anymore. We're coming out with our own 2-year, 5-year, and 7-year bonds. So these are things that are really upsetting the federal government. And also, in the same time, Mugabe in Zimbabwe is doing the same thing. He's trying to come out with these lower denominations, and at the same time, his BAR registered bar attorneys over there, they're all registered to the same British accredited registry, are taking him to court, saying that he's making unconstitutional actions with Zimbabwe. In the meantime, what we really know is that the Paris Climate Treaty had within it the rider of the 209 Treaty, which is our currency exchange. So these are just little actions by big countries that are trying to make and improve themselves. The last thing that we really want to know is what's really going on right now. And what's really going on, you could see that people like Bruce have been asked to tone down a little bit, okay? And in other words, kind of gag yourselves, without having to be legally gagged. So you're seeing Bruce kind of tone it down, yet you're still seeing Joseph being awful loud. So that kind of tells us that these are two entities that get their information from two different sides of the block. Well, in the meantime, our intel team, the people in our VIP group, are also being told this morning to be quiet.
What we're really hearing, though, is that on a day-to-day basis, the flagpole's thinking that this is going to go, and it's being said right now that tomorrow evening, the day before Thanksgiving, this thing might fly. However, the bankers are asking for Black Friday, the 26th, for this thing to go. Frank, 26, is saying, hey, we're seeing this go into the Gazette on the 25th. The 26th is our most likely date because that's when the dinar is supposed to go international. So having said that, I said that to say what? Well, Frank is actually saying December 4th through December 10th would be those sovereign moments. So what we see right now is we're still in a WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. The hope is always there, and once you guys have exchanged, please go on vacation. You all deserve it.
Oh, yeah, we do. Thank you, Philip. Appreciate that. Wilmington, Delaware, 302. Come on down.
Hello, Jerry. I was hoping I would get on a call. Maybe it was Tuesday 2 weeks ago when you had all those ministers on and you were going back and forth. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah, that's one where I said if God wants to take a vacation, he's got plenty of people watching me.
That's right. I was trying to get in and say, look, I'm not in the ministry, so I maybe I could even up the sides on there. But I remember back then, Iko was pontificating about how, you know, if you really wanted to change things, you could get people together to go out, and he talks about the Vietnam War. And I was thinking to myself and wanted to get on the call saying, well, guess what? The people are out, and they are speaking in volumes, and they're the 10, 20, 30,000 people that are out at the Trump presentations. And, you know, looking back on this country over the last 8 years has been trending towards socialism. And guess what? The people that have their hands out love to figure out how they can put somebody in there that's just going to give them more goodies. And a whole bunch of people that don't want a participation trophy, they want to do something and make a mark, and said, we've got to change this. We've got to get the people that really want to make something happen, to drain the swamp, to get rid of the people. You know, like I was talking about, Trump's all in it for himself. Well, how about Barack Obama? He didn't get in there for anybody but himself. And the question is that with the one that Trump put out originally, he's probably wasn't even born in the U.S., and that'll bring out all kinds of crazy stuff. But anyway, I got a friend that says most intelligent people make decisions based on facts, not false assumptions and preconceived notions. And a lot of people on the night of the election were running on all kinds of preconceived notions and false assumptions. And fortunately, the people that have said, you know what, enough is enough. This administration is putting a lot of us out of business, and everybody's hurting and wanting to be in a better position. We've got, if we want something different, because Hillary's not going to be anything different, we've got to come up with a different candidate. Maybe Trump isn't the ideal one we want, but guess what? He's the only guy that knows how to kick ass and get things done. And he's already doing it. And he's bringing in all kinds of people from all kinds of different backgrounds, Democrat, Republican, black, white. He's putting people together who can make things happen. And I couldn't be more thrilled with what's happening. And I'm looking forward to the first 100 days. And he's got a ton of things that he can make happen, and I bet he's going to do it. And unless this crazy Republic thing is going to come up and says that we're going to have another electoral vote and Paul Ryan's going to get in, all that kind of stuff. But
all right, thank you.
I think we need to give this guy a shot to do his thing.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jerry.
And so I wanted to say this, but I'm going to let her say it. This is Rodeo Drive. She sent me an email that she has a GoFundMe account now, so that y'all can go straight to her. Go ahead, Rodeo Drive.
Hello?
Rodeo? Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. She hung herself up there. She'll raise her hand in a minute. Findlay, Ohio. 419. Come on down. Findlay, Ohio. 419. Come on down.
Yes, Jerry? Jerry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me, Jerry?
Yes.
Okay. My heart's broken. My heart's broken. I'm the ICO for President lady, and after that spiel he made today, I'm so glad I didn't write him in. That's all I have to say. Bye-bye.
Bye. I don't know what happened to she'll have to, I'm talking about the rodeo lady. If you'll send me an email with how to go to your GoFundMe account, I'll actually tweet it out. So if you're listening, if you'll do that. Well, hasn't today been an interesting call? I'm getting a lot of things on Twitter, how disappointed, worst Intel call ever. At the very beginning, we give you everything. There's literally, we're just waiting for them to push the button. I wish they'd push the button. We're all tired and we're all edgy. And yes, I stepped out into the minefield and we talked about politics here a little bit. Oh, there she is. You keep putting your hand down, Rodeo Drive. But the bottom line is, there she is. Hold on. Rodeo.
Yes. I'm just coming back from a doctor's appointment. I want to thank you. I want to thank everybody that's helping me. I emailed you the stuff. It's what should I say? I don't know what to say except it's GoFundMe, and then Hit Medical, and then Mercedes B, and there's my story.
I tell you what, if you'll just email me what you want to help you out, where people can send you money, just that portion right there, and then I'll tweet it out. Okay?
Okay, because I answered it for you on your tweet because I wasn't sure because I haven't had the streak to get to the computer lately, but I will do that.
Well, honey, I'm sorry. I don't see any tweets that come back in unless I'm at the computer. If it doesn't come to my phone. I turn that portion off. Otherwise, my phone would be nonstop.
Yeah, and you do enough as it is, and I love you, and I'm so grateful. I will get on the computer and I will send it to you. And thank you all, and happy Thanksgiving to all of you.
Thank you, and get better. It's only it'll be a little bit, and you'll be doing the two-step out here.
I better be. Okay,
all right.
Thank you. I love you all. I'm very grateful.
Love you too. You're welcome. That's what we're here for. So, a long time ago, a couple of things you can talk about, a couple of things you can't. You don't talk about politics and religion. You can go, how can I put this? I'm trying to read between the lines. So as Columbus came over And I'm giving you just a story here. Columbus comes over. He meets the Indian tribes. He's figured out that he can date the chief's daughter, do all kinds of things with her. The chief gets mad at him for doing all kinds of things with his daughter. That's forgivable. What isn't forgivable is to talk about political beliefs and religion. That will get his head lopped off. So I hope you understand what I'm talking about. When I stepped out on the edge here, Intel was at the very beginning, and then now we just stepped into a little bit of the problems that our great nation is having. And I go back to saying this: nothing stays the same forever. Could we all agree upon one thing, that something needed to change because the path that we were going on was leading us to hell in a handbasket? I personally believe that we're making a step in the right direction. I believe that a person can change. Why do I say that? I use my own life as an example. I was not a good person, but then the first wife helped me see the difference in things that was going on and helped me change my life. And so, yes, even though he might be 70, even Evel Knievel had it written on it's on his tombstone. One word: believe. So if he can change his ways at his age, I think there's hope for the Donald. And you know, we've got we'll go a little bit longer here. Indianapolis 317, come on down. Indianapolis 317. Oh, Lisa. Well, it may not be her. Well, they muted themselves. Hello? Indianapolis. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes.
I just have one comment. It's something I hear all the time on a lot of talks. What we do need to do is pay attention to what people are saying, all the prejudice they express, and they claim they're Christian. From what I've been hearing, all those claiming to be Christians will never be a good Samaritan. I don't know how they count themselves as Christian. Hello?
I'm here. I was just listening to you. I'm sorry. I was staring at my phone. It's blowing up.
And as far as what's coming, with the RV, I really have a hard time waiting. I've been at this over 6 years.
Uh-huh.
But I think the right thing for all of us to do is know people for what they are by the way they act. We didn't have much choice in our election. We weren't offered very much by our political parties. It's just kind of disappointing all the way around, but I hope it's going to be better.
We can only hope for that and hope our prayers are heard on high.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Cheyenne 307, come on down.
Well, hello, Jerry. Long-time listener, first-time caller. I got something different to talk about. How about currency? I got a currency question.
I'll do the best I can.
Okay, for both you and Iko. The question I've got is, if you have enough ZIM that puts you into a structured settlement, do you have a separate exchange for your other currencies? Meaning that your other currencies would not go into a structured settlement? Do you know?
We've talked about that, and I don't know. I truly don't.
What's your best guess?
Shot in the dark here. They're going to tell you that they're going to lump it all together, and so, and that's why.
We'll go into a settlement.
And I say this again near the end of the call. When I first started calculating, I just said 50 cents for me. That was me, and I bought accordingly. If it's anything less, I'm still in great shape. If it's anything more, ho, 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 I'm going to look like a drunken sailor every day. Can I spend $1 million a day? No, I can't. But I'm going to try until I get sick and tired of it. I'm going to stimulate the economy in ways that maybe God hasn't instructed me, but I won't go out there just throwing $100 bills in the air. But
no, I'm not going to do that either.
No, but I'm going to do my best to stimulate the economy. I have lots of good ideas, but before I start down that road of, ho, 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 I'm going to talk to my financial advisors.
Oh, yeah, me too. And, I took your advice a long time ago. While I wait, accumulate. So it just gives a person more options. And that's because we don't know. We don't know a lot of things.
Here's I'll just come right out and say it. I feel that if you take anything above the market rate, there's going to be a lot of strings attached. You can do this, you can't do this. Even if there's a no clawback clause in there, I'm leery of any contract the bank wants you to sign without legal representation there for me to review it to say, there's some word in here that needs to be, a question asked. Because you can bet your bottom dollar bippy that their attorneys have went over it with a fine-tooth comb and the wording is just like they want it. And people have said, well, I'm not going to take an attorney in with me. Well, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Well, I'm not going to take an attorney in with me, but I agree with you. I agree with you on that as far as that NDA, and I intend to read it very, very carefully. And if I have a problem with it, I've also been told that I can make another appointment and come back. So, and if that's what I need to do, I'll go back with an attorney. But hopefully it won't be that type of situation. I'm hoping that the banks want to work with us at this point.
Well, and unfortunately, if you don't sign then it's basically you're going to go back in for the street rate or the market rate or international rate, which I'm talking about from the beginning. But to not take, if you're thinking about taking anything over that, and it's not the NDA that I'm worried about, it's the bank contract and how they want to structure any type of
I got you.
payout.
I got you.
Because we are not, legalese is not our forte. We're regular common folk who speak plainly, and that's not how attorneys speak. And that's the difference between getting your butt in a crack or being crack-free and not having issues. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Makes a lot of sense. Thanks, Jerry.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate your answering my question. I've been a long-time listener. I've listened to you for a long time, and first time I called in, I'm really glad I did. And just to say something for Iko, I know somebody else who knows Trump, and that is personally how he is. But like you, let's just keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best, huh?
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
You bet. Have a great day, Jerry. Thank you.
Uh-huh. And so I want to say this. Johnny Carson had Ed McMahon as a sidekick. Ed wasn't perfect. He did try to He had his viewpoints, maybe not as strong as Wingman, but that's what makes this call. Wingman has a lot of good points. We both have good points, and we both have stinking thinking from the neck up. Nobody's exempt from that. But it's our opinion. And it doesn't always agree with, I don't agree with what some of the things he says, and he doesn't agree. We've had private talks, and we were a little very forceful about it, going, no, that's BS, or that's crap. So don't throw us both underneath the bus. Well, if you do, at least take out the studs and the snow tires. I've had a lot of it lately, and my armor's getting beat up. So I just want to say thank everybody for listening to another edition of Redneck Radio, Currency and Political Talk 101. What happened? Oh, I'm still here. Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty much the end of the call. Wingman, what is the last words we hear?
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
The conference is now completed. Goodbye.